Then the next year I kicked off with another Mario 63 episode, then started off Pixelmon 3.3.8, which turned later on into 3.4.0, then 3.5.1. Same world save, I just kept on going until I felt like the series was over. Pixelmon, that series is one of the only series I've actually completed on my channel. Season 1 of Mario 63, of course, has also finished. Season 1 of Fortress Pascal, but those ones have Season 2s. Pixelmon does not. Even though Mario 63 and Pixelmon are by far, well, were for the longest time, my most successful series. They're not anymore, but they were for quite a while, and they racked up quite a lot of the early views. That means that people really enjoyed them, and I should have done more, but I felt like if I kept on, beating a dead horse for too long like I do in Mario 63, it doesn't work. Even though Mario 63, you'll see, is kind of making a comeback. Kind of. Not maybe. Then, of course, that same year, Forgius Pascal began. And that is actually not the first edition of Forgius Pascal. The first Forgius Pascal actually came from around 2014, actually. I wanted to do a roleplay. That's one of my other mod Let's Plays that was happening. And I was really enjoying, partly because of the way that I structured the character, which is more or less identical to the way he's portrayed in the remake, but not quite. The original mod pack was Attack of the B-Team, so it wasn't extremely wizard-focused. I was going to try and make it more wizard-focused as it went along. The fact, they had morph, so he could shapeshift, he could fly, he could, breathe underwater, all those things. And was trying to learn how to defeat some sort of villain, which I had no way of actually building at that time anyway. I was trying to carry on as I went along. Trying to do some more characters and things like that. Actually, I sometimes would try and dye and mask it, but I couldn't edit videos yet, so it didn't work. And so it was very much, I thought it was going to be a failed series, but a lot of people said that it was their favourite series. So apparently people really enjoyed it, so I kept on doing it until the end of Season 1, tried to start Season 2 with custom NPCs and a different mod pack, didn't really work, so I had to stop. Yeah, so for quite a while, Forgius Pascal, Pixelmon and Mario 63, I wanted to do a video of those every day, which never happened, but those were my three main series that I wanted my channel to focus on. Two of them had a conclusion. Well, actually, all three of them, but Mario 63 and Fortress Pascal never did. And then came Doing Homework, which was basically a series of just random things going on. Every series is different. There is no consistency. And that's part of the fun of it. It is everything except for Doing Homework. Which, again, I closed that with episode 13 and the birth of my character, Senor Sand.
Good morning, class. My name is Senor Sand.
That one. Then there's a video of me trying to do another mod Let's Play, Tekkit Classic, with my best friend Pika, but that was supposed to be for his channel, and he was going to try to start that, but the first episode was going to be on my channel. It is. That never happens. Every time I upload a Spanish video on Jacob Butter, it's not really that successful, even though I'm going to upload a Spanish song. I have to be careful with that sometimes because it doesn't always work out. As we find out with Skywars Returns. Skywars Returns was another reboot of a series that never got to be because of the whole Lizuvid thing. The original Skywars was just called Skywars. But Skywars Returns was my brother and I going back to what we did quite a lot of the time in my early days, which was record Skywars, the only PvP game that I was semi-good at surviving. I didn't actually ever kill anyone, but, I managed to survive. Sometimes I'd win because Carl and I would take turns winning. We'd always kind of team up, and we promised never actually to attack each other. Except for one time, which we tried, and I lost, obviously. Those videos are there. Carl wanted me to delete a couple of them, so not all of them, but again, like I said, I don't tend to delete videos unless I really have to. Episode 4 of that was in fact in Spanish, and I think I got a few dislikes for that one, even though I was recording with one of my subscribers actually. I had about 13, he was subscriber number 13 back then, where he still is. Yeah, I only just got to double digits by this point, even though now I'm saying these series were doing so well and whatever. No one actually really subscribed back then, which is fine. I don't really mind that. Like I said, I've always been kind of a small community, less so now than before, but regardless, I was happy with that, and I still am. Then I did some random game previews of other games that weren't Minecraft, Spore, or Super Mario 63, the ones that I promised. I did a couple of update videos, and then tried to do a voiceover, which is again another video that got 100 views of The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. That was for a project. You'll see that a lot of them come from school projects sometimes. And then came Decade when I got to double digits. Decade is the biggest failure that I've had as a channel. I wanted to upload 10 videos in the same day, which to this day I've never achieved. I did not structure it properly. I said, oh yeah, I'm going to maybe do it over a couple of days. No. Even though the series is called Decade, it didn't make sense. It was a 10 subscriber special, that's why it's called Decade, double digits, 10, that's the theme. Pixelmon RC Cooperative came out for that, which is again a series with Pika that's been discontinued because that server isn't as good as it used to be. La Gente Verde, which I'm going to reboot and make in English. Robot with a Dictionary, which is the one that I talked about in the Jimmy Through the Cost video, which has been deleted by YouTube. That's probably the worst song that I've ever made, I think. Yeah. And then other random game previews, which I actually don't mind that video actually. Fireboy Water Girl is a very interesting game. But yes, then Decade concludes. And we get into the redemption. The redemption for Fortress Pascal, the redemption for Decade. Spore, Legend of Tid. This series replaced Fortress Pascal as the favourite of a lot of people, and actually it became my personal favourite for a long time. What happened was that for some reason I stopped being able to upload videos that were longer than 15 minutes, even though some of the videos actually range up to about half an hour. But I didn't know how to cut them down, so I kept on having to track when I was recording and up to when, because there's no proper point to stop in Spore usually. But actually, I love the fact that I created, a family unit. I actually had proper characters into that, and Braidicott, or Bray, became an actual tragic figure, which was quite funny in my mind. The fact that I managed to make, a character that was never meant to actually be anything more than just that, just a side character, became kind of a symbol of that. And of course I got Stella James from that, who was someone who was one of the first really active commenter. She's gone now, I don't know what happened to her, but either way, Stella James, you'll still remember. Legend of Tid ended because I was unable to properly do things for it, and also because for some reason Spore stopped working. Yeah, so that series never concluded, which I'm really sorry for, because I wanted to finish that series so badly. I still think to this day sometimes I want to do more Legend of Tid. I can easily buy Spore again, but it won't be the same because it's not the same level, it's not the same characters. I don't know. I'm not sure. Then from Doing Homework Episode 9 came Mayhem Sing-Off, which is one of my favourite series still to this day, which is still running. It became its own thing, much like Senor Sand. There were some things that came from Doing Homework that became their own spin-off thing, which I like. But yes, so that's the thing. You all know Mayhem Sing-Off. If you don't, then seriously watch some more videos. And then revision parodies. For example, Carbon Cycle. And I'm back. Sorry if I'm a bit sweaty. I've just been out with Pika. Having some food and buying some things like Coke and Fanta for people coming around later, which is not actually what I'm drinking right now. This is Fanta from yesterday. It's fresh but not fizzy, because it's been in the fridge for longer. It quenches thirst but leaves a weird aftertaste. I'm probably going to have to wash it down with water or something later. But as I was saying, I forgot to mention Skyblock, which is another collaboration series that I tried to start with Phoenix Diamond Eyes. She did episode 1, I did episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then when it was her turn to do episode 8, she decided to call it episode 2. So she clearly had not understood the episode structure entirely, because it was supposed to be between us bouncing back and forth, or whatever. Either way, things started to get interesting when I uploaded my first revision parody, Carbon Cycle. Carbon Cycle is Probably the most popular Jacob Butter song, apart from Behind Green Eyes. It's most popular for me because that's the one people always request, because it was popular because I made it at school, I performed it live in Science, then I made the video, which led people to think that I hadn't actually made the song because they then found it on YouTube, even though it was my channel and a day after I performed it. But either way, from that video came 2 copies of the same video for some reason. Must have been a corrupted file or whatever, and YouTube for some reason didn't detect it as a duplicate. Go figure. But what else did it have? It had a remake in 2016, a remake in 2018, a live performance in 2018. It's probably still going, and shout out to Paula and Lola, by the way, because the pair of them only yesterday asked me about songs, if I could sing one of my own songs, and I chose that one because I know it so well, because it was requested almost as much as Harry Potter Style was in its day. But Harry Potter Style was never uploaded on this channel because I didn't have the channel at the time. So that's why Carbon Cycle kind of took its place. I reckon that, and I don't know, maybe Behind Green Eyes possibly, because it's the most popular by view counts or whatever. Maybe those 2 songs are the ones that are going to stick with me. I'm not sure. But either way, like Pika says, I've shout out to him as well. I do have songs that are better than Carbon Cycle, but it was a nice place to start. And very soon after that, Carry On 2015, Doing Homework ends, and Super Mario 63 Season 1 also ends. Super Mario Season 3, Episode 40, the end, the final episode, or is it, was the hardest video for me to upload. Not physically, that reward goes to Dragon Ball R&R in 2018, but mentally, because I had to prepare myself, because I love Super Mario 63. The only reason I don't play it now is because I've kind of moved on and, you know, making other things and don't play as many video games as anything else, but even so, that's the game that I always go back to. I've been playing it almost since it was first released in 2009. And finally deciding that I was going to end the series in 2015, exactly 2 years after it started, established this anniversary date, by the way, but it also left me thinking, well, is my channel going to be the same? And the answer is no. The next video that I uploaded was another song. It was called Superflat. Superflat was my first original song it was my second original song uploaded to Jacob Butter. I was more proud of this one because I managed to build it up on Minecraft and, you know, kind of made it into its own thing. But even so, that's kind of where I discovered that I didn't have the vocal range I thought I was going to be, because listen to this.
No one's ever gonna be the same because it's just plain super in the best of ways, though I never could have guessed it. And I must confess it, I'm never going back again.
No one's ever gonna be the same because it's just plain super in the best of ways. Oh, I never would have guessed it, but now I must confess it, I'm never going back again. It was supposed to sound like that, but I couldn't do that in 2015. So, yeah, things did gradually improve, but not quite at that point. Then afterwards we opened Darkmoor, well, this was slightly beforehand, we opened Darkmoor Secondary School, which was, never became a thing, ever. Probably will reboot sometime with Senior Sand, but not sure. But then came the time that many people have been asking, but Jacob, if you learned how to manually upload videos, why didn't you try manually uploading the ones that you never got to in 2013? And the answer is that I did. Soon after Superflat, I did a couple of update videos, and then I uploaded how to make a zombie pigman commit suicide, which was a random video that I actually uploaded when I first saw I recorded when I first saw a zombie pigman that was struck by lightning, was never from the nether or anything like that. And yeah, I just drove it into a cactus because the air was terrible back then, and yeah, that was it. It's only a minute and 23 seconds long, but even so, it made for an interesting kind of mini skit. But that started the retro reconstructions fashion, which was reconstructions of videos that I had made previously. The next one was the original Pixelmon series, with another modded Let's Play that I never got to upload. Why was Galacticraft the only one that survived? That's really annoying. But yes, it was my first Pixelmon episode 1. Now, this Pixelmon series was a lot more disastrous than the first one, because I was playing an outdated version of Pixelmon because my cousin Fraser downloaded it beforehand and I had no idea how to do it myself at the time. So I was playing on Minecraft 1.5.2 when it was a version made for 1.4.6. So yeah, not a good idea. Every time I pressed escape or E, the whole world would crash. Fortunately, I was able to find a witch's hut which had a crafting table in it, so I didn't actually have to cheat to get anything or even access my own inventory. Out of the 3 episodes that are uploaded, one of them has my basically entire maternal side of the family talking over the back of it, because I filmed it in my grandmother's dining room, and all of them have my Pokemon being fainted, especially Charmander, who fainted in the first episode, and the ones that I capture in later episodes faint as well, and I can't heal them until episode 8, because there was no Pokemon system back then, the heating table was impossible to craft, and I didn't have enough wool to get to bed until episode 8. So I think I chose the worst possible moment in Pixelmon history to do a Let's Play on it. But there you go. So then, of course, I started Colmenar Viejo and Crazy Craft, the 2 roleplay series that were eventually supposed to replace Pixelmon and Forges Pascal as the roleplay and the regular Let's Play, respectively. Except for the fact that they never were as popular, and I lost the save, so I couldn't continue them anyway. There you go. Of course, I also uploaded Be Back Soon after the conclusion of Season 1 of Mario 63, because I wanted to reboot the series at some point. Then straight after that, I uploaded Seeing the Unseen, a video that I didn't actually want anyone to properly see until it was necessary in class. But again, can't really control that. It seems like when I don't want people to watch a video, sometimes it gets watched. It's very interesting. There's 30 people there just reading my mind. But yeah, then also, of course, I had the first Quarter Quell. So yeah, after 2 years I hit 25 subscribers. I know, some people might say that's pathetic, but whatever. I was happy at the time, and yeah, still kind of happy now. But yes, so the first Quarter Quell was poorly managed, but it was still quite fun, especially playing Pigsic, which is an addition that I've included ever since in all the other Quarter Quells, because that series is also concluded by now. And then, of course, we have the last edition, which is Minecraft Adventures of Laggington, where I finally play some maps that I made all the way back in 2013/14 with some friends, and discover that the simplistic design sometimes works in their favour and sometimes doesn't. Like, Mob Chess was not very good, Jacob's Ladder was functional. We never did Free Wesman parkour. But anyway, that aside, of course the final video of 2015 was another final countdown, where I think I redeemed myself for at least a little bit of the flaws of the first one, in the sense that I didn't make any of the mistakes I did in the first one, except try to make the video in time for New Year, which worked this time, but whatever, regardless.